Man, no rest for the weary, huh? They wait 2 seconds to start the game.
Well, they've been waiting, and I don't mind. I don't mind because I love just to keep on casting. This is really a casting marathon. We are 30 minutes late, but everybody's showing up on time, so I'm happy. mTw versus Tong Fu, game number 1, coming your way. I am Luminous from dotacommentaries.com. The guy that just came back, that was yelling his head off, that was LD from dotacommentaries.com as well. Here comes game number 2, or series number 2. Are you ready, LD?
My body is ready, my voice may not be. We'll find out soon. mTw versus Tong Fu. Now, I have a big soft spot in my heart for Tong Fu. This is a team that took the world, well, maybe not the world by storm, but certainly the Asian scene in the International 2 East qualifiers when they crushed their way through teams like World Elite, Dustbin, a lot of the best teams coming out of Southeast Asia. For me, the question is going to be, can they stand against mTw's style? So stable, so consistent. mTw, maybe not the most aggressive team, but they like to do a lot of the same things that Tong Fu do. They like their sort of beefy carries. They like to play it safe. They'll get towers. They'll get aggression where they can. And well, already for mTw, it's a big signature hero. It's going to be Synderen's Prophet.
Synderen's Prophet. I like it. I love it. I mean,
it doesn't have to be him.
It doesn't have to be him, but it could be him. We've seen, I mean, mTw is such a versatile team. They've been switching Synderen's role from 4 to 2, 2 to 4. They could do so much with this team. And Synderen, you talked about how Prophet is one of his signature hero. He has a Night Stalker. He has Enigma solo mid. He has so much versatility. He has so much depth as a player. So I'm looking forward to cast mTw. This is a team that dethroned Na'Vi twice at the finals of the tournaments. This can be a favorite going to TI2, and let's see how do they shape up to, you know, arguably an underdog coming from the East.
East versus West, man, but this time there's not going to be no squabbling over pings or delay or any sort of, scheduling issues. All these teams have had ample time to get their body clocks adjusted, to get used to playing at Valve. So there are no excuses anymore. It's just going to come down to raw individual skill and team play, and ultimately Dota is a team game. So we'll have to see who ends up ahead. Tong Fu opt for the Lone Druid. Not that they've seen them play a lot, but you got to keep in mind, picking Lone Druid versus a team like mTw, who love to run that, usually funzii handling it. It's also denying it to mTw. Great pushing off the bat for Tong Fu. Lone Druid and Leshrac, one of the most coveted supports across the world, but especially in the European scene. mTw gets something great of their own, though. It's a Brewmaster. Strong team fight there. Good nuke damage with the Prophet as well. I'm curious where both teams go from here, but it seems like mTw going for a pretty balanced lineup. Tong Fu towards the pushing side, but both these teams can go anywhere they want. These picks don't really reveal too much.
I feel like in terms of playstyle, both teams match as well against each other so much. mTw, known for a European team, but they're so defensive, calculated. And as Chinese, Tong Fu, that's how they play their game. They like to farm up for a big carry. That's what Tong Fu does with 2 of the big semi-carry / carries. Meanwhile, mTw like to farm up just about everybody else by putting a lot of pressure, by putting a lot of kills on the enemy's scoreboard. So right now, this is a clash of playstyle. Where's your money on, LD?
It's both teams are getting great heroes. It's just I don't know if I could put my money down on one team. I will say mTw has not. Both of these teams have not really looked great immediately coming to the event. mTw looked amazing back in DreamHack, beating Na'Vi on LAN. So if you look at that in terms of who has the better recent results in Dota 2, it's got to be mTw by far. I mean, the caliber of competition, even the International East qualifiers, just does not stack up to what was their DreamHack, mainly because of the presence of Na'Vi. So in terms of results over the course of Dota 2, I do give mTw the edge, but I will say mTw has not looked particularly strong. There was the tournament at Gamescom where they weren't even able to place in the top 2. They didn't even make it to the final. Tong Fu has looked a little bit sloppy at times as well, and Beyond Summit's World Tour, we saw they didn't do very well. So for both of these teams, I don't actually know how they did in their previous matches, although I think mTw lost their first one. But there's a lot of momentum that needs to be gained here for both these teams, especially if you drop your first series. You want to get off to a good start. It becomes... These series are grueling. I mean, each team's play, 14 games in 3 days? You want to have that positive momentum, that energy, or it's going to feel like a real slog.
I mean, the players have it bad. We have it worse, right? I'm going to give myself a pat on the back because we're going to be casting 18 hours, 28 hours today, and there's only 24 hours in a day, so I'm ready. Are you ready?
I am ready as well, man.
You don't sound like it. You don't sound like it. The picks and bans.
I was just reading Skype. Apparently Valve has messed up our stream link again. Not sure how they keep on doing that. I guess they don't like Twitch.tv very much. But guys, if anybody's wondering where the stream is, make sure you share the link with them. This series should be fantastic. It's going to be very different from what we saw CLG, especially whenever M5's in the game, it's not going to be a normal game. They're just too aggressive. We saw in game 1 they tried to play normal, but generally that's just M5 games are never centered. They're never sort of safe. They always take the big risks, whether it wins or whether it loses. This game is going to be something a little bit different. I expect to see more calculated aggression, more patient play from both teams, and probably not as many kills. But whichever team gets off to a lead first, I think the other team's going to have a very hard time coming back from that.
A Death Prophet ban. Now, we haven't seen Death Prophet being appeared on scene, so I'm not too sure why it deserves a ban. But one thing I can share with you guys is that these teams have arrived to Seattle 3 days ago, I want to say, 4 days ago, and they've been scrimming it non-stop against each other. So perhaps TongFu getting some win, getting some rumors about that mTw squad picking up Death Prophet as a pusher. So this is homework being done before the official match even started. They are going to use one of their 5 pressures ban on Crowbless for now. And mTw not phased, banning out both of the junglers early on.
Yeah, Enigma and Panda picked up. Look at this team fight for mTw. Even with a Sandkin and a Leshrac, in a larger scale engagement, these ultimates are going to be too much for these heroes to deal with. So for TongFu, I think the goal is going to be get Lone Druid a good start, get your Sandkin and Leshrac some farm as well, and then try and spread the map out. This TongFu team will already be fantastic in medium-sized engagements. And if you're going to fight when those ultimates are up, try and bait one out, back off, and then reset, reload, and go again. If you just charge, if you barrel in to a black hole, a Panda ult, a Prophet TP in, that's going to be trouble. So let's see where TongFu goes from here, but I am going to give the big team fight edge to mTw. That being said, these are long cooldown ultimates.
Yes,
and
I'd like to extend a little bit more on that point. Like, if you do barrel in, and if Enigma just airballs it like you kindly pointed out in the last engagement, or if you force out Brewmaster's ultimate and you pop that magical smoke, I mean, suddenly you're facing 150 second of cooldown. And if you look at Sandkin, if you look at Leshrac, these are the heroes that has 8 second cooldown, 12 second cooldown. They could come right back. They could extend the engagement for a long, long time. So depending on how TongFu's finesse when it comes down to positioning, they could win this team fight big. I mean, it might be sounding crazy against Enigma and Brewmaster, but they definitely could do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just trying to get that stream link fixed. But Morphling is the pick here for mTw, so that's a lot of burst damage. I like the choice. Leshrac and Sandkin pretty squishy. Lone Druid can be if he's not in bear form. This gives them another hero that can spread the map. Now they've got a Prophet and a Morphling. Now we've seen time and again, whenever a team has a Prophet and a hard carry who can split push, if they get a good start, it's so hard, even if you kill one, you're not getting much out of it because Prophet's going to ult and push out the lanes. Or that carry, whether it's an anti-mage, whether it's a Morphling, sometimes even something like a Lone Druid can fit the bill. It's going to be putting so much pressure that you're forced back. So for mTw, if they can get a decent start, I think they'll be in good shape. And wow, it's going to be a Night Stalker. Mu's Night Stalker, very, very well respected in China, and I believe he will be the one playing this. It could be Hao, but I think Hao's going to be on the Lone Druid. We'll see how they want to, who's going to get what heroes, but they definitely have their options. And this Night Stalker pick, what are your thoughts? I think it has a great place in this game.
And again, I think if it really synergized with the rest of the team, they want aggression all over the map and very, very frequently. And sure, I mean, you might lose that one engagement 10 minutes in against that black hole. That's going to happen. You might really force out a bad ultimate from Brewmaster. That's going to happen as well. But between that 2.5 minutes of engagements, Night Stalker, Sandkin, and Leshrac reign supreme, and they are going to gank all over the map, giving Lone Druid some farm. And if you leave Lone Druid alone, he is going to be high-fiving that tower with the bear. He's going to destroy that tower relatively. So how will mTw handle all of this pressure coming in? That's what they do best, though, mTw handling pressure. Let's see if they're still on their A game.
There's a couple of ways to try and counter that pressure. One is Prophet TPing in if he's not the one being ganked. He's always that +1 that we talk about. Enigma can roll out of the jungle with some conversions, with the Malefice, try and punish the tower dives. There's not many reliable stuns, and that becomes a concern. There's a Malefice, there's a Brewmaster, Boulder Toss when he's in ultimate form, there's Enigma Black Hole. All of those except for Malefice are very long cooldown. I feel they have to get something a little bit more reliable. I'm not sure what that would be right now. Maybe a Shadow Shade. There you go.
That's
perfect
pretty reliable.
And it also sort of denies it to TongFu, who love to run that support Shadow Shaman. More so than even other Chinese teams do. Yeah. How is TongFu going to round up this lineup? For me, that's the big question.
Well, in terms of raw hero lineup, they need one more solo lane, perhaps. Even though Leshrac is solo, Sandkin is solo, both two heroes could be moved down to support. And with that logic, they need another support as well, depending. I mean, this lineup is so versatile in terms of laning. And it's going to be a Queen of Pain. Wow! Look at how greedy this lineup is for TongFu. everybody and their mother needs to get farmed on this lineup.
Yeah, I'm surprised. It's an awoke Night Stalker. Normally the hard support, the jungler for Tong Fu. Now, it's one of these things where a lot of teams have been adjusting their hero roles and experimenting, but some things are going to remain the same. Hao will be on the hard carry, the lone druid. Mu will be on that solo mid, that semi carry. For Tong Fu, it's normally Mu that sets the pace. It's sort of like Vegas for M5, although I would say not quite. They don't rely on him quite as much, but if he gets off to a good start, that's going to be big here for Tong Fu. Kabu going to be handling the Sand King. Awoke, as mentioned, will be on the Night Stalker. Looks like it might be a tri-lane Night Stalker as well. Sang Shang going to be playing the Leshrac. And yeah, I'll leave it to you to introduce mTw.
Yeah, freaking Mad is going to be on that Enigma Kebab handling the Brewmaster. We have funzii, who usually been playing, of course, the solo top lane, but this game going to be on the carry, of course. You mentioned it. A lot of players been switching up their roles and whatnot. Synderen going solo mid, saving for the quick bottle, tangles, and 350 gold in the bank. And now we have Sock going up on top, I imagine.
Solo mid Shadow Shaman. This is, I don't want to call it a throwback. Yeah. It feels old school, right? It's from a couple months ago, which in Dota 2 time, I mean, it's sort of like, a dog might live 10, 15 years, humans live 90, so, Dota years are probably even faster than that.
Definitely.
6 months feels like a decade sometimes. The one thing I'll say about the Shadow Shaman pick is if he's going mid, mTw suddenly have an amazing ability to get early map control. If Synderen gets 6 quickly, if the Prof and the Enigma aren't shut down too hard, look at the split push potential. Even Morphlane and Panda can push quite effectively. This is gonna be a support Panda. This is so weird, man. It might not be the most crazy action-packed game. Regardless of what happens, roles being switched for Tong Fu, Kebap handling the Panda as a support. We do not see this very often.
I mean, if you really think about it, all Panda needs is levels. So if you can get him the levels, they used a Sentry Ward to block the camp. The Sentry Ward for the enemy team was placed down and it was immediately destroyed. Also, if you look at the Observer Ward near the high camp over here, that will block this camp. So no more spawns for the Radiant jungle for a long while. This is offensive tri-lane. So same deal. We saw this tri-lane. We saw a tri-lane being thrown against Morph. You might not kill him, but you can limit his farm. But for now, it is that support Brewmaster that we're keeping our eyes on.
Yeah, in the middle lane, we're seeing Mu laning up against Synderen. Lastly, keep your eye on the bottom lane in case the action breaks out. We would expect it probably to be there. I would say this is a pretty even matchup. Ether Shot, great for harassment. A little bit harder to harass with Screw and Pain because of how far you have to walk in. But in the early levels, Mu is going to have a great time. Probably the advantage. And with Blink, I believe he can control the runes. If he doesn't, it'll come down to the supports really helping out. So I'd say pretty even matchup here. Slight edge early to Mu. As Synderen gets levels, might give the edge back towards him. On the top lane, it's Sakshka up against Hao. Every time we see this matchup, I feel like Prophet does well early on, but then once the Lone Druid starts getting some levels, he gets really hard to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, sure, the Prophet could TP out and help out the other lane. Certainly turn the tri-lane bot, the quasi-tri-lane on the Radiant side to a 4-lane. But I mean, to be honest, like, he's not going to have the time to TP out because Hao is going to be farming like crazy. He is going to be entangling if you're not careful enough. But for now, I think TongFu, they got to make their stand very, very soon because Enigma slowly to journeying into the jungle. He's level 3 already, 2 level into that Malefice. He could actually start helping his team in engagement. And I think Leshrac is a weak link here. He could be easily burst down if he's not careful.
He could be. TongFu have a lot of offensive firepower in this lane, but you're right. They're not very strong defensively. There's no disruption. There's no fissure. fckingmad, he's got the scent. Looking Kabu, not going to find him. In the end, he backs off. But this lane, I mean, it's only a matter of time before the action breaks out. And I got to say, TongFu, they're very strong offensively, but there's also a great chance that Leshrac could get picked off. For mTw, the support's a Panda, so he's not going to be easy to kill, even if you catch him.
Yep, and he's definitely going to provide a lot of offensive firepower. Stats gets picked up here by the Panda, which is somewhat as a standard. You really want him to tank up. And at this point, though, who is actually going to lead the charge for mTw? I don't think anybody. Just a little bit of harassment when it comes down to Splurf. Kabu walking in, threatening in. Both teams are just dancing right now. Such an elegant dance on the bot lane.
The one thing I'll say is fckingmad continues to try to jump in here, but he's not finding openings. And he had 14 CS a full minute ago. Or maybe not quite a minute, maybe like 40, 50 seconds. He's not farmed at all since then. So the longer he does this, that's limiting his farm. And that's the big benefit to having this jungle here, is you can pull ahead in that respect. So if he continues to gank and it's not successful, I feel that's a mistake. He's going to head back to the jungle. Good decision making here. That big camp has been warded off, and you have so much effort being... This jungle, I think there's been, like 8 wards already placed down. Ridiculous, man. Just absolutely ridiculous. Oh, split earth on funzii. Bro, strike in. The silence. No, he gets the morph off in time. He will be okay. If he was a split second later, he's dead there.
But that's fine. They force the Morphling to morph into strength. If he was going to go back to agility, yeah, he's going to waste a little bit more mana as he's doing so. And look at the amount of denies, and critically, look at how little lasted that mTw funzii's been getting. He's only got 7. Yeah, we saw how Pycast struggled when there was a tri-lane thrown against him. Sure, he recovered in the mid-game. But this mid-game here for TongFu is absolutely scary. I think right now TongFu is having a slow but a pretty good start.
Top lane, Sakshika drops low. The entangle, that's going to be a first blood picked up by Hao. Both solos playing dominantly right now for TongFu. Hao getting the first blood, 16-4. More denies with that first blood will have a big lead. Middle lane, it's Mu leading the CS charts, about 5 creeps and 3 denies ahead. Both of TongFu's solos doing extremely well. And fckingmad making a run for the haster, and will he get it? He will. He will survive most likely.
Well,
there could be a split earth here.
I don't know. I don't know. Leshrac, he's going for it. There's going to be a slow, which just a nuke at this point. But now Sanking, oh no, Kebab comes in. Is he going to get off his stun? Sandshen's going to get bursted down from the get-go. But now Sok is going to go down as well. A couple more right clicks. They do get to kill. Kabu's now on the run. No mana for the Burrow Strike. They see Kebab. He might be tanky as a support. funzii doing some nice block. Blinking here from Mu. They are going to get the kill here. funzii on the run as well. Strength morphing. At this point, though, TongFu up ahead when it comes down to kills. And what is that number under that flag is telling me? Dependence.
That is, I believe that's the number of supporters. I have no idea why it's only showing 1, and I'm not sure if it's accurate, but generally the Chinese teams don't have nearly as many as the Western teams. Dota 2 is not that widely adopted over in the Chinese scene just yet. But guys, that's going to change when this game is more widely released. So you may think you have the numbers advantage now, but that will change when the legions of Chinese fans descend upon Dota 2. I believe that is the number of people of that team's pennant. But here's the thing for TongFu right now. Getting these early kills, dominating these lanes, their semi-carries, the Night Stalker, and especially Mu's Queen of Pain. If they get one more round of kills, they're going to be absolutely fearsome. And that means so much space for this lone Druid, who already got a first blood, who's already got 1,100 gold in the bank, 5.5 minutes in, 25 CS. I think right now for mTw, it's synderen and to a lesser degree that Enigma. They have to make something happen for the team soon because they are just not having a good time elsewhere on the map.
Well, synderen's definitely got the level. He's 6, so this means anytime that there is a successful gank, a tower is going down for sure, as long as synderen could keep his mana up. And synderen, unfortunately, though, has to spam at the shark to keep himself, really give himself a fighting chance in the lane. On the top, the Burrow Strike is going to hit. Where is that Entango? No Entango just yet. How good is the body blocking? There's Entango, and that's going to be another kill. How lucky is Hao? Well, we'll see as this game remains.
How do you stop Hao?
How do you stop Hao? You don't know, man. When he gets those 80% Entango, it's rough. And now the regen rune is going to get picked up by the Queen of Pain. Boy, synderen really would have loved that. He's going to get Arcane Boots in the secret shop instead. And again, TongFu, very powerful start here. And mTw on the ropes.
Rumors abound that Ice Frog is a Chinese fanboy, and maybe we're seeing that higher percentage chance Entangle proc paying off here. No, just kidding, of course. But, you know, what a time to get an Entangle. Both times right as the TP happens. If it happens at a different time, he can probably just channel that TP again and be absolutely fine. So, a little bit of luck, a decent amount of outplaying as well. And middle lane, it's Awoke diving in. He's level 5. He wants synderen. Synderen will take a fall. Synderen gonna die here, and that's a big loss. Queen of Pain probably not needed, but they do secure the kill. A little bit afraid of fckingmad dropping the black hole, I think, although he's not actually 6 yet. Kabu waiting in the wings. Is this going to be a feed or is this going to be a big play? I think it's going to be a walk the hell away.
Now, one thing that we were talking about when it comes down to drafting is you talked about the long cooldown of these ultimate, right? The Panda ultimate, the Enigma ultimate, and of course, to a certain extent, the Rasa ultimate as well, Shadow Shaman. But, I mean, we can only have that discussion when those ultimates are online. And this 1 to 5 disadvantage here for mTw is because they actually need a level 6. Whereas TongFu could go at 3, they could go at 2. And because Brewmaster Ultimate is not online, Enigma Ultimate is not online, and Rasa Ultimate, he didn't have mana for it. They can't actually fight. So for now, and also for the next couple of minutes, TongFu is going to have the biggest hero advantage that they will have in this game, and they're pressuring this advantage. Look at already TongFu, how pressure on the tower. This is what I mean earlier. If you leave Hao alone on that syllabary, he will push down your tower.
TW certainly know about lone druids being left alone. Theirs has been left alone many times in the past. They've had a lot of success with this is the last on the tower. That would have put him at about 2,900 gold or so. He would be so close to his Radiance then. Still, at the rate Hao is going, he's going to have that relic, I want to say, by the 10-minute mark, unless he dies. mTw have to get a kill on him or have to get something big in return. They have some great late game on their team. Don't get me wrong. They have a Morphling, they have a Prophet. These heroes on paper can do quite well in the late game. The supporting cast is strong as well. Although it's Kabu getting caught out. Kabu probably going to go down here. There you go, the Ether Shock. Really spending too much time in this area. I feel once the tier 1 is down, then you can be more aggressive there. But before it is, it's much easier for the enemy to cut you off. A ward plays down. mTw know that vision is there. funzii, bottom lane, Void to start, Earn Charge gets thrown out. They're not going to get the kill.
Yeah, quick TPs from fckingmad there, but I think that was fine for, at least for the Sand King. He bait out a Rasa ward does have 110-second cooldown for a very, very long time. Also, fckingmad popped the smoke right then. They wanted to gank top, but the smoke was immediately dispersed by the Sand King. So there was a lot of economic as well as cooldown damage against mTw, if you will. But a little bit de-warding action on the bot lane. And
Awoke, the big backstab mid. Phase boots picked up, Void, easy kill. Synderen is screwed. Yeah, he's gonna go down. Prophet TP immediately cancelled. Level 8 Queen of Pain, level 7 Night Stalker. The mobility on this team is absolutely insane. And mTw, they're pretty immobile overall. They're kind of a clunky lineup if you think about it. They rely heavily on Blink Daggers, on the Panda, maybe on the Enigma, but especially on the Shadow Shaman as well. They're not gonna get them anytime soon. And I just feel, even if they find a decent team fight, it's going to be pretty easy for TongFu to dodge away from it. Night Stalker can walk away, Queen of Pain can blink out, and then of course Sand King can try Burrow Strike away. So it's going to have to be a perfect fight. This is still a very even game over, well, pretty even game. 3,000 gold lead, 2,000 experience lead. I still feel mTw can turn this one around, but I'm just not sure how. They really need TongFu to make a mistake.
Well, looks like Sok is perhaps in a little bit trouble. They did see the Queen of Pain pick up that Invis-Rune, so they should know. But Sok is not, you know, well, Sok, you are 1 in Tango away from death, my friend. Mood does have his ultimate and have mana for all of their spells, but chooses to back off. Right now, Sok playing very, very defensively. Sok going for the Midas build. We are going to most likely see a Midas into a straight mech, unless fckingmad is going for it. fckingmad is going for Strength Treads. I think that's the correct item build, given the fact that there's so much burst damage on the dire side. You just need to survive.
Yeah, I suppose it could be something like a Necrobook, but I believe it will be Power Treads. If he wants a Necrobook, he's a long way from that. So we'll see where he takes that. My big concern for mTw is you put a Shadow Shaman solo mid. You have an Enigma in the jungle. You have a Prophet getting the solo lane, albeit in the off lane. You expect to get some early towers.
Well,
and look how healthy the towers are.
Here we go. Team fight breaks out in the mid lane here. Wards get dropped down. 3-man Burrow Strike. Sonic. Oh no, that hits everything. Black Hole gets immediately canceled. Waveform coming in from funzii. He's perhaps not even gonna kill on the Shensheng. Panda Brewmaster ultimate's gonna pop. Move perhaps in a little bit of trouble. Blinks onto the low ground. That is gonna be it. Rasa uses ultimate. Black Hole is down. Panda ultimate's down. You could bet you right now, after the immediate team respawn, they will go straight in for the mid push. Sand King in the air right now. Blink air from Moo. Moo gets a kill with the double damage rune. And I think this time everybody revive. Everybody's gonna teleport mid. That tier 1 tower for mTw is basically dead. On the top lane though, How again being left alone, working on that tower.
Relic picked up. He's so close to that Radiant.
Did you just say Relic pick up?
Yeah, Relic already picked up. Look at the bear. He's already got it. Lumi.
I'm speechless.
Yeah, dude. He had 2,400 gold at like 8.5 minutes. I thought we had a connection issue there. Good troll by you. This is the beauty of TongFu's lineup. If Night Stalker and Queen of Pain get a fast start, it creates so much space for that lone druid, especially with the tower going down. The other thing about that fight is mTw, sure, they get a couple of kills. The big problem for me is now, what do they do while they wait for that Panda ult to cool down? What do they do while they wait for the Black Hole to cool down? They have to play so defensively. TongFu don't rely on any long cooldown. They can be, as long as nighttime is up, they can be as aggressive as they want.
Exactly, and now you can see Sansheng is getting a little bit farm. I love it. We've been talking about it in many casts that we've done. The Chinese team love to farm their support and make them combat worthy, make them basically not free throwaway heroes in the engagement. But Kebab walking position for the clap. Burrow Strike's gonna hit. Malefic's gonna hit as well. Kebab gotta get out of there. No, the second tick of Malefic will cancel his stun. But here comes the Queen of Pain. No Sonic Wave for now. Kebab does not have that ultimate. He's gonna go down, move very healthy in terms of mana. He's gonna look for more. He's right clicking, not gonna die for it. But this tower on the mid lane now perhaps in a little bit of trouble. Again, How being left to free farm on the top lane. 300 go away from that Radiance. And he's going to start hitting some towers.
Look at the teamwork. Moo sharing the bottom with Sangchain. Edict's pop. Blink in. Moo with the constant aggression. Might have overextended here. The Malefic. One more tick. Can he get away? No, Synderen joins the fight. 450 gold going into his pockets. Going out of the Queen of Pain's really big kill. But even when they get it, it's an expensive kill. It requires multiple heroes to TP in. It requires a bunch of heroes to spend their time fighting, during which time Hao is getting that Radiance. I want to say the time when he got the gold for it was probably right about 13 minutes. Bernie may have some competition, man. This is some outrageously good farm from him.
I just want to say,
out of his mind.
I just want to say,
CS
yes, Hao is tripling the CS of a Morphling right now. Tripling.
Look at the net worth. He is over double the Morphling's gold earned. The tower kill, the double tower kill that he got, that certainly helps. This isn't even just a Radiance, man. He's got the boots up on the bear. He's got the Orb of Venom. Or excuse me, on the hero, the Orb of Venom on the bear. And look at what he's doing now. Stacking the camp constantly.
Yep.
This is going to be the third time. It's not even just the farm. It's all the other little touches. He's now going to be farming a triple stack here. So efficient. And really, it comes down to his first early tangos, because if he doesn't get them, things slow down a lot. Bottom lane, Synderen, Hex onto Awoke, trying to run away. It is daytime. They'll probably back off. They will, but even when they're not getting kills, TP's for. Kebap TP's in, but it's a support Panda. Up, Sprout on Sangshade. Do they really want to make a go here? This might be too much. Burrow Strike in my Kabu. Great ward trap from Synderen. The mouth is going to cancel that. Kabu, is he going to die? He will fall down, but again, wards for a single hero kill. Not sure that's enough.
They'll take that one because those wards aren't hitting those towers, and towers is very important right now. I just want to point out as this gold chart drops deeper and deeper in the favor of Tong Fu, the count of pennants is going up and up, and for Tong Fu, more and more people are buying pennants. And boy, how can you not buy the pennants if you see them play so well right now? It's up to 223 and it's climbing. It's climbing.
Yeah, guys, show Tong Fu some love. I really think they're a very professional team. They work hard, very dedicated. When they found out they were the International 2 East qualifiers, a lot of teams' response was like, oh, we weren't invited. Tong Fu's response was to stop everything they were doing. I believe they even backed out of a Dota 1 tournament, which, by the way, is guaranteed money and opportunities for their team. And they chose just to practice nonstop. They found out at like 7 a.m. in the morning, and they started practicing immediately. And for anyone who doesn't know, 7 a.m. For these pro gamers, usually about the time they're going to bed, not when they're waking up. So that's the kind of dedication they have. They definitely deserve the fans. But mTw, let's not count them out just yet. They have some great push power. They do have a Morphling. Their team fight is outstanding. They just have to find the right openings. They can't make mistakes. They have to be very efficient with their ultimates, and so far they haven't, but I could see them turning this around. It's going to be a big hill to climb, though.
Yeah, if anybody could do it, it's mTw. They don't win tournament for jokes. They are that good, right? But for now, Hao is the unstoppable farmer. The Bears, of course, is, the Bears buying items. Unfortunately, has translated to the stash. That's always an awkward thing when you're playing the Celebrate, but it's absolutely fine. And now they're trying to set up some gank. mTw's funzii, farm check, 49 in 16 minutes. A little bit behind, but his team is buying him some time, and he really has to deliver. In a situation like this, where you are very, very far down, what build do you have to go for Morphling?
No time to talk about that as the bear charges in. The Void actually gets fogged there. Hal's still giving chase. He does not care at all, man. And it looks like they will back off. He's got money for a cloak, and I feel a cloak in this game would just be incredible. 17, look at this, 1800 HP. He gets a cloak. His effective HP goes up so much, and they have to blow everything to kill him. They want to do so as well. Synderen and Vizrun picked up Hal, microing his hero back into to the range form, and he might actually be in trouble here. Uh-oh, he's in range form right now. This could be bad. Well,
yep, there's going to be Entangle, summon the bear back, immediate, a quick reaction, but it's not going to be enough. Hal goes back to HP form. The reason that he went into the human form was he wanted to get the regens from the Tranquil boot to regen more of his HP, but unfortunately forgetting to switch it back and definitely pay for it. But for now, the push come up on the top lane here. Shensheng trying to defend this by himself. He doesn't have points in the lightning, so they got to give up that tower. And right now, mTw showing them some signs of life. They have a great pushing lineup. Wards was dropped again for a hero engagement, but with the trees and the position they have, they are going to get this tower. Are they going to go for another one?
I don't know.
They have the ultimates, right?
It's pretty bold to do so, I gotta say. If you overextend against TongFu, you're screwed. Queen of Pain, Night Stalker can easily chase you down, although it is daytime. So no, they're gonna back off, and I like this choice. I think it's more mTw style as well, not to really push the issue.
Definitely.
They get a tier 1, they get a crucial kill on the Lone Druid. It's not even about the gold he loses. That is a minute where he's not stacking camps, he's not accelerating his farm out of control. Amazingly, Hao is not the hero with the most net worth. Oh, sorry, that's because the Radiance is not being counted by the hero, I believe. Or is it?
No, they actually count it now, but Queen of Pain, that's no joke.
Yeah, she's ahead.
She's very far ahead. This is the day of Guinsoo Rush, or Scythe of Life Rush. She's basically 800 go away. This is insane. Last time we saw like a 22-minute misery Guinsoo. We're going to see it quicker here, I think.
Yeah, and with that Scythe device, I mean, you look at how much they have to follow it up. The Sand King, the Leshrac. Now you have another hero who can be that reliable initiator, not to mention Night Stalker, who we've seen. Awoke is not afraid to just charge in with a lucky Inferno or two to help him out. Moo, big dive middle lane, just driving funzii back. I really like this play. He's not trying to go for the kill, although he's getting close to being able to do so. He's pressuring the lane, he's pushing it back. This frees up the Roshan pit, which Hao is doing, and he is mowing through Roshan very quickly. This bear giving that wolf from last game a run for its money.
And how does mTw stop this, right? Look at the tier 1 on mid and bottom lane, still up. They can't do anything about it. I think the correct response for mTw is exactly what Synderen's doing. There's no way they can challenge Roshan. Might as well take a tower for this. And I think this tower will go down. Sand King not quick enough for the deny, and he won't even try for it, even if he's there. But now Aegis lands up on the Lone Druid. Well, even going back to his human form, he would feel a lot safer doing so now.
Oh, this is going to be so hard. And whenever you're up against a really early Radiance, you have to look how much HP the heroes have, and then equally importantly, is there a pipe and is there a mech? And right now, I don't even see anyone really building towards those items. Enigma may be looking for... Actually, something's on the courier. Okay, so he's got a mech, but even a mech at this point, I'm not sure it's enough. I really think you need a pipe as well. And not just because of the Lone Druids, also because of the Sand King, the Night Stalker, the Leshrac. I mean, the Queen of Pain. That's the beauty of running Lone Druid with this lineup, is you have so much magical damage from the 4 supporting heroes, and then the Lone Druid provides you so much physical. You have to get armor, and you have to get magic resistance, and you have to get HP. And when you're behind, it's just so hard to do that, especially for these supports. Even the Kebap is poor as hell, man. Only Arcane Boots and Wand, nowhere near Blink Dagger. We are 20 minutes in. Sometimes pandas have a point booster and a blink by this stage.
Well, I think the supports of TongFu, sure they're poor right now, but they are going to get more tower gold. And of course they're getting Roshan kills here and there as well. So they're going to get a little bit of benefit. But really, how is Panda going to catch up, right? He is going to be placed as a support, so he literally has no farm. But to be fair, Brewmaster is a hero that if you're playing him like this, all he really needs is level, right? Critically level 11 is what he really needs, and he's getting there. So I think mTw is doing okay on that department, but for now they're down in farm, and it looks like they want to have a concentrated push effort on top. Morphling, not even 11 at this point, but does have that ultimate orb up. I was asking you earlier, which the team fight disrupted us, but what do you think when the Morphling is really far behind right now? Like, what item do you go for?
You know, I mean, I think either BKB or Ethereal Blade. I guess, you know, the Morphling ult, Tangle and Kebab bottom lane, look at the damage. They might force out an ult here. Couple more right clicks, Malphus onto the bear, blink in for Moo, going for the assassination, Black Hole on 2, Kebab still alive, gonna get the ult off, turn things around, Sprout on 2, the War Trap on 2, no, just kidding, phase away, or actually Hao just skating out. Is everyone really gonna live? That looks like for sure 3-4 kills. Easily, this might be a big overextension. The bear doing great damage to fckingmad. Look at the control by Hao, keeping his hero in range, not running away too far. They get one, they force out a Black Hole, they force out a Panda ultimate, they force out the Synderen wards. If you can't win a fight onto your own tower with all of those abilities, you are in big trouble, mister.
They can't even take away Lone Druid's Aegis. The Black Hole was pretty good, but it was not enough. And now says TongFu, there's nothing to stop us. Okay, we'll take the tier 2 tower. And to be honest, I think they could even look up high ground, but for now, they gotta defend mid because, well, never mind. That is just an illusion. Maybe they're trying to bait a couple of TP backs here for TongFu. TongFu's not buying that bait. Or are they? Yes, they are buying it. They're gonna back off for now.
Yeah, it's just the item. It's just another level of item progression for TongFu right now. Sure, you get a Blink Dagger up on Shadow Shaman, but meanwhile, Moo's sitting around with the Scythe device. I will say, mTw's got a pair of Ultimate Orbs on funzii as well as Sakshka. I guess it's going to be a Manta style for funzii. I can't imagine it's a Lincoln. It just wouldn't make any sense to go for that when you're this far behind. So I believe it will be Manta. Maybe I have Skadia, but I think he needs more utility than what that provides. Manta will help with the entangles, but there's so much AoE that really that's all it's going to be good for. Beyond that,
don't forget the fear as well.
Right. So it's going to be pretty effective on 2 fronts. But I just feel like mTw, they need to somehow not lose anybody and maintain control of the map and keep up with farm on the Radiant side with all these towers down for at least 10 minutes.
Yep.
And I just don't know how they're going to be able to do that.
I don't know either, but if one team would do it, it's mTw. I'm waiting for them to show us that. Of course, if you guys just watching the stream on the bot lane here, Hao in big trouble. His bear is going to be doing the damage. He is going to revive with the Aegis. His bear gets sniped, but looks like they're going to back up. It's going to be a bear respawning in human form, and they can't even take that fight. That just shows you how strong is Hao. That is a tongue twister in itself.
They They yeah, tell me about it, man. Oh, I love it. But you know, I think they spotted Kabu rotating in with one of these two wards here, and as probably this one. As a result, they did wisely back off because he's got a blink dagger, and when your supports of this farm, and an offensive tri-lane Sand King, not even a defensive one, which is normally what TongFu runs, that is some serious farm for these supports. And Awoke as well, Aghanim Scepter picked up. I would love to see a gem, and then I just don't know what mTw can do. Oh, funzii waveform mid, blink away, Malefice onto Awoke, he'll be absolutely fine. mTw are doing the correct thing here. They're pushing top, they're trying to spread the map, force TPs back. The problem is Lone Druid pushes so much faster, especially with Shrek's Edict, that you can't split push at this point in the game. There's just no way.
And I've been just showing on the portrait, hero portraits on the top, every diamond on the top was blank, which means that their ultimate are not on. They are coming on back online just about now, but I mean, look at, you remember that engagement on the bot lane? How long ago was that? It felt like an eternity, at least for mTw fans, because they can't actually fight. They can't do anything aside from, you know, going for the small trades, going for the pushes, and all while being in danger of being ganked. Kebab, oh no, silence, Hex. Man, everything on him, and he's basically dead. Sonic Wave for the chaos. Moo says, Awoke, you're a support player, don't take my kills.
go buy some wards.
Yeah.
They do get the kill, that's all that matters. I mean, I think it would almost have been better to let Panda use his ult there, and then the ult's on cooldown, and you might kill him anyway. So I don't know if that was the right call, but either way, he gets some gold, gets the kill. And the beauty for TongFu is if they don't want a team fight, they don't really have to. They don't, because they have so much control over the map, because they have so much pushing power, it's never going to be easy for mTw to push up. Middle lane, though, they only catch Synderen's replicant of Synderen. Not the real hero. I was going to say, Synderen, that's not your base, but he's okay. Yeah, so for TongFu, I think it's fine to use an ult like that, even if it's not necessary, because they just don't have to fight.
Meanwhile, we do see Lone Druid getting
the gem. They have the gem on Awoke.
Oh, that's a nail in the coffin. This is something that we see a lot on Chinese team. If they feel they're ahead, they get a gem, and they basically de-war your entire map. Very lucky right now that mTw still have 2 on the map, but sooner or later, those are going to go away, whether by time or destruction. But look at right now on How. He's got his Assault Curious. Or close. I
like how casually you delivered that. He's, what is he, 200 gold away from that. This is a 26-minute Assault Cuirass, Radiance, Phase Boots, Tranquil Boots, Magic Wand, multiple TP scrolls, Lone Druid, who has not just been farming all game, he's also been pushing and once in a while even contributing team fights 2, 1, and 3. 5 kill participation in a 14 kill game, not too shabby.
Yeah.
How? 200 CS at 26 minutes. We're probably not going to see that 750 mark claimed by ZSMJ broken on his Medusa back in Dota 1. But nonetheless, this is outstanding farm, outstanding control. And look at the vision that's been denied to mTw. They are playing quite literally in the dark right now. They see nothing.
I'm in mTw vision right now. If you look at the mini-map, the map is literally dark. There's a bright spot next to a hero, so you're going out for smoke gangs, but smoking's not going to be too effective when they're right outside your base. In fact, are they smoking all the way up for that tier 2? If TongFu knows this, they could just go straight in. There's nobody to defend this. TongFu, actually, the defensive posture, really kicking themselves in the foot right now. But I think they're going to charge up the hill right now and just go claim the Rex.
If mTw, they might get a tier 2 out of this, but one TongFu's on the high ground, how do you set up your team fight properly? There's still no Blink Dagger on the Panda, who might even want to sell his Magic Wand to try and buy it. I think it would just have enough then. There's no Blink on the Enigma, but fckingmad though, he's hasted. Who needs Blink when you're hasted? The tower goes down, and will they back off? The bear charging in needs to be resummoned. Will be resummoned immediately. And how? In the front lines, the Assault Cuirass. Look how fast the Rex is dying. Blink in, move, sight on fckingmad, wants the kill, wants to chop his head off, black hole, burrow strike over the top, canceling it, the epicenter, mTw, entangled, funzii, a complete rout. This is not quite a team wipe, but it might as well be. This has got to be one set of Rex, maybe more. Do they even have buybacks? It doesn't look like it. In fact, they might have 1 or 2, but I just don't think it would matter. Low Brewmaster even dies in ult form. You don't see that very often 28 minutes in. The hammer came down in a big way this game. TongFu are no joke. They're not to be trifled with, and mTw felt the brunt of that here.
Penny counts on TongFu. 275. It's going out. Wrath of Nature. Big damage output, but TongFu says, we don't care. We're going to stay for this. Tower goes down. The bear Working on the Raxus, 800 HP, 400 HP. It's gonna go down. Nope, they want Sock instead. Sock's gonna go down. Tower focusing on the Moo at the chuck from synderen, putting an exclamation mark. He wanted that kill. He gets it, but unfortunately, 2 of his Raxus are dead, and now TongFu will happily back off. They might even lose the bear. No big deal.
Yeah, the bear might be the, the lone prize, but that is small consolation. Oh, Lumi, this is game 1, of course. They do have 2 games, so there's still a chance for mTw to come back, tie the series up 1-1. I mean, I'm not going to say it's 100% over, but it's about 99. So if we look towards game 2 for mTw, what could they do differently, whether it's drafting, laning, or otherwise, to sort of get a better start? Because I just felt like they never had a chance in this game at the 2-minute mark.
I just felt that TongFu outplayed them. I felt like it wasn't really the draft. I think mTw drafted fine. It wasn't like they won the draft 100%, but it was a workable one. Perhaps putting Panda on support, that was a little bit different. But again, it's a workable strategy. But TongFu really saw the weakness in mTw's draft, which is basically they could fight in one moment every basically 2.5 minutes. And TongFu says, okay, we'll put pressure everywhere. Remember how many ganks went on the mid lane again, and that forced Prophet to TP out, and as Prophet TP out, How got farm on the top lane. A lot of ganks went on the bot lane. It was just pressure all over the map. Very CLG-esque for TongFu, and they just tore open mTw. mTw could not respond with their slow, clunky kind of heroes.
Yeah, I feel like TongFu just played the match perfectly. No, I was not saying, are you kidding me, to Lumia. I was looking at this little Druid, and that was a Basher picked up. 30-minute Basher, Assault Cuirass, Phase Boots, Radiance, and again, all those small items as well. 18,000 net worth just about 30 minutes in. Are you kidding me, man? I don't think we've seen a little Druid this far,
no,
at least not this quickly.
I mean,
ever.
His net worth
Maybe
is...
a double...
His net worth is almost higher than Prophet and Morphling, the 2 highest farmer on the Radiance combined. Like, it's that close.
Maybe a double Midas. Maybe a double Midas Lone Druid could keep up, but that's really about it. I really wish we could see towers killed, because I know Hal's gotten at least 1, probably 2, maybe even 3, 4, or 5. I just... Oh, look at that. I love it.
The bear just runs past. I don't care. Blink in here. Ultimate for the Panda. They want Shansung, but Queen of Pain blinks him from back. Bear gets tossed up in the air. Effing mad. In big trouble. Oh, he's going to be mad about that one. Kabu. Burrow striking through. Moo with a BKB. Look at the Radiant team. They just stand no chance with all of their ultimates being used. Synderen getting driven back. Blink in here from Moo. They're going to get the kill. They might have buyback, but this is not a CLG situation where they could buy back and fight like last game. No, the last rack's going to go down. Oh, effing mad looking for the black hole, but he can't get it off. GG, well played, gets called by effing mad. And we're going to go to game number 2, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow. After such a back and forth M5 CLG, this was certainly something a little bit different. TongFu just... I mean, really, this was just Moo the Wrecking Ball, just cleaving his way through the enemy team. How his partner in crime, winning that 1v1 matchup. The tri-lane really didn't get too much accomplished, but they didn't feed. They slowed down the Morphling, and perhaps that's the big thing. But I even feel if Morphling had a really strong start, it wouldn't have mattered, because of how far ahead Lone Druid and Queen of Pain are. We see the weakness of Morphling in this game. He does need a little while to come online to truly be a potent threat. Kebap blinks in, Kebap gets silenced, Kebap dies, and the throne will be claimed. The GG already called 1 disconnect from mTw. More to follow shortly. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your 2nd of 6 best out of 2s for the TongFu versus mTw. Game number 1. TongFu take it in a very one-sided affair. Can mTw strike back? We'll find out soon on the other side.
And for now, this is Luminous LD signing off, although we're not really signing off. We'll be here. We'll be here, guys.